Hey everyone, Eric here with a very quick look at Flamebreak. Each run in Flamebreak begins with a totally randomized hero. So in this case I have a Lich with a spear, and I have the whirlwind and vortex abilities. Because I'm a Lich, I can refresh one of my skills after activation, basically letting me double up that skill invocation. And my spear is a sort of hybridized ranged melee attack. Again, every run, all of these elements are randomized, so you can get a totally different brawler type hero one run, and then a little magical fairy dude the next. And the way that all of these pieces fit together will really change, and it will affect the approach you take through each run. Interspersed with the combat in Flamebreak is an overworld map that looks a little bit like FTL. The big difference is that you have these 4 items, the spyglass, the warp stone, the dust of appearance, and your healing potion, that you can use to manipulate your sort of path through. And so I'll show those off in the next region. But here you're going to start to see combat. Because I do have the Lich ability, I can refresh that vortex strike, which is pulling everyone together, or I could choose to refresh my whirlwind. Either way, my objective is to clear through these fights and accumulate gold that I can then use to power up my character in a variety of ways. This is a hazard scenario, which means there is something environmentally that's trying to kill me. In this case, it's meteors falling from the sky. Throughout the game, there are a variety of modifiers to combat zones. There's also a huge variety of enemies, each with different attack types. So in this case, I'm fighting a fairy that blinks around and throws projectiles at me, and these minotaurs like to run up and swing a big old hammer. Every AI in this game is exploitable. That is to say, everyone has an attack pattern that can be learned and manipulated through a variety of ways. One thing I can do is I can use my vortex strike to actually interrupt their attacks. So each character has different tools in his arsenal that may help with disruption or dodging. In this case, Vortex Strike is a stun. Much like in a MOBA, a stun allows you to control what your opponents can do. And because there are relatively long cast times for your enemies, you actually have a second to interrupt their attacks directly, much as you would again in a game like Dota. So with this character, I need to get in close and really brawl my way through these fights, because I have this whirlwind skill that's basically letting me swing my spear 3 times in quick succession, and I also have this vortex strike, which is only good up close. As you go through each run, much like in FTL, you're going to choose your path through the upgrades, but you're going to do it subject to the randomization of the world. So every time through, you're going to have different options, and you're going to have to figure out how the items available interact in positive ways with the randomized loadout that you have for that run. In this case, I'm going to pick up a necklace for Sepicles. There are a number of gods featured in Flamebreak, and each of them has a powerful blessing that he can confer to his followers. So in the case of Sepicles, what he can do is he can actually power up my attack speed, my movement speed, and my cooldown reduction. Cooldown reduction is a stat that allows me to activate these cooldown regulated skills, like the whirlwind I just used and the vortex strike that I had been using to interrupt my enemies, that I just double used there because I'm a Lich. And there's also skill mastery, which amplifies the effectiveness of your skills, and attack damage and attack speed, which should be fairly familiar. Those are going to modify your attack. And again, your attack can be very different depending on the character that you've gotten. In this case, I have a spear. It can be thrown at medium range. It can be used as a single target melee weapon at near medium range. But I could have rolled into a flaming staff, which is an item that builds up charges, a weapon rather, that builds up charges every time I activate one of my skills. In that case, I'd be sort of forced into building around a more skill-centric build rather than just poking guys to death, as I do here. In this fight, you see a Proctus altar going on, and I'm actually fighting against a bunch of necromancers. These guys, when I kill them, will try to raise each other, as you see that guy doing right now, and prolong the fight. And so I'm actually going to try to take out this altar to Proctus. That's going to remove his blessing from my enemies and allow me to kill them a little more quickly. Alright, that introduces the very, very core mechanics of Flamebreak. There's a lot more to discover in terms of itemization paths. There's a huge variety of sort of challenges that can be thrown at you. Each boss in every region is randomized. Every run really ends up feeling different. Thanks for watching.